Welcome to a day in the life of a Moreton Bay tunnel net fisherman. We're about to leave the northern boat ramp at Victoria Point to head off for a day along North Stradbroke Island to do just to show you how we actually go about producing the lovely fresh seafood that we make available for the people for South East Queensland every day. Here's the boys running along the trees. It's just before high water, and they're in there. Actually, they can see the fish that's there. There is actually, there's quite a nice little bit of mullet there today and a little bit of smallish brim, but they spot a few whiting and stuff. These guys, they got eyes like eagles. They don't miss too much. They spend a fair bit of time running around the bay looking for the fish. If you don't see anything, you don't work. It's as simple as that. You've got to actually find the fish. They're not just everywhere. Here we go. The boys we've let the tide go a little bit now, and the boys are heading up. We'll shoot all the net from the southern end down with the run. With this operation, the legal prescribed amount of net is 1,700 metres. It seems an awful lot of net to the lay person, but the way these banks, they're big, wide, huge banks, and you actually require that amount of net to get around the fish to make sure that you can catch them. Here we go. They make what we call a trap up there where they start. It's just a figure 6, so you can see the boys have started probably 200 or 300 metres off the trees. They're going around in a figure 6 there now to make a trap, so when the fish run along the net, it turns them around and they come back again. I'm snapping some anchors on here as they shoot along. You've got to be a little bit careful you don't finish up over the back as well. And they will shoot that net down. They've started up in the shallower part of the water. There's only probably 3 foot there, and they'll shoot down to where they put the tunnel on, which is there'll probably be about 4 foot 6, 5 foot there at the moment. And they'll reach that point, and then they'll then shoot the net further to the north back into the shallower water again. So they've actually created a V in the middle of the net, a deeper section where the fish will congregate, and later the tunnel can be put on there and get all the fish down into the tunnel. It's an operation just to shoot the net. It takes a good hour sometimes, depending on the conditions, an hour and a half to shoot the net up. But as you can see, it's a beautiful morning. Everything's going well. We've got plenty of helpers here today, so normally this is just a 2-man operation. We've got 3 or 4 guys here today all helping out to just show everybody what we do. It's the good old days we used to row this out, of course. Like these days the boys don't even have oars in the dinghies. Not in this particular dinghy. This is not a good look, is it? There's a commercial fisherman, he can join those fish. That's a real worry. I'll have to have a talk to him. These 2 pegs here that young Ron's putting in now, that is the mouth of the tunnel. That section of net you can see over the back of the boat there, that's actually like there's no lead line. It goes from one cork line around in the U section and back up the other side. So it's actually, there's a bottom in it, and you'll see there. So you can see it's like a race. The fish will be eventually down in that area. This is the metal grid you see goes from one side of the tunnel to the other. Now this apparatus just completely blocks the mouth of the tunnel off for all big animals. You can see the size of the meshes there in the metal grid. Like that, just the turtles, the stingrays, anything large that you don't want down the tunnel because they're hard to handle for one thing, and they're unnecessarily stressed if they get down there. They're kept out into that other section to be released later on once the fish have all worked their way through that grid. Like all the smaller fish that we want for market will go through that grid and down the tunnel. Here we go, the boys are up. They've started working the net down from the shallow end. You can see there now there's not much water there. I'll clean this net as they come. It's all the leaves. There'll be a few small sand crabs and things like that just get rolled out. They just swim away happily again. It looks a long way down there, but in actual fact it's probably about 600 or 700 metres from there down to the tunnel that way, and a similar distance back to the south. The mullet have got down into the traps by the look of it. Now they're down in here now, and the boys are running a few fish down the tunnel. You can see them swimming down there now, a few mullet. You can see there's not a lot of water there. It's probably be under your waist deep. It's probably just above your knees before the fish actually come onto the net. So it's a pretty fast operation from here, because you've got to be able to get these fish down the tunnel and sorted before the tide goes too far. But on this particular day, on this shot, where the end of this tunnel is, there's always going to be at least knee deep of water there at low water. So we've got plenty of time today. You can see the grid there working, so you can see the stingrays getting pushed away and the turtles. You can see the small green turtles there. They're having a look, they can't get through. They're completely unharmed. They'll just nose into that for a little while, and the boys will be down here within probably half an hour, and those fish will have all gone through that grid down the tunnel. By then we can just pick those wings, those little short wings up there, and all that stuff just swims away, all those turtles and stingrays. The actual numbers of these green turtles, I can't believe how they've increased. I don't know. Not being a biologist, I don't really know the reasons, but it's possibly because there's less feed elsewhere for them. But a lot of this ground here is it's as good as it was 150 years ago. The actual net fishermen in Moreton Bay have been working this area for 150 years. There's never actually been a death from entanglement in a tunnel net operation from with turtles or dugongs. We do see an occasional dugong, but normally they're gone. You know, as soon as they see us spotting along the trees, they're very timid, and away they go. You can see the boys now hauling this trap. This is a wing, that northern wing on the trap coming around now. All those stingrays and turtles are being forced in tighter there. They'll reach a point here very smartly where they'll consider that the fish have all gone through that grid. Yeah, that's it. They've taken everything they want. Now you'll see him just lift the rest of that trap away, and everything there just swims out now. And the fish are all down the bag. You can see the tray, like a prawn trawler sorting tray, on the deck of the icebox dory there. That's what they'll put 1 or 2 scoops of fish up there, and because there is a fair bit of small brim there today, you just put 1 scoop up and you can get those small fish off the tray in plenty of time. And you can see the flap there on that sorting tray, that goes straight into the ice slurry. These fish that are going to the market, they're into a zero slurry straight up. It's the absolute best way to handle fish. But the improvements that we've seen here with the lack of bycatch retention it's unbelievable. Like, there was a time when fishermen, just all this fish died, simply because we didn't have the methods available that we have today. We've developed through industry alone, I might add, that there's been none of these developments have been forced on us, but just through the want to reduce the bycatch, we've developed these methods that have made it that there is no, you can see these little fish there, they swim away. They're only on the tray for 10 or 15 seconds and they're gone. The pelicans can't even catch them in a foot of water. That's how lively they are. Within an hour, those fish, if you put a temperature probe into them, they will be around between 1 and 2 degrees. So you can't get a better product. These days we tend to catch fish to the market more so than what we did in the old days too. We used to just catch what we could, but these days we tend to have our fish sold before we actually catch them, so you're not oversupplying the market. There are days when you catch an awful lot more and they're simply let go at this point and caught at another time when the market demands. The operation's nearly complete here. The netting part of it's nearly complete. Picking it all up now. It's all got to get back in the boats again. There's 2 boats, as you can see. This boat here holds the tunnel and traps, and the other bigger net dory holds the wing. There's all the net being loaded back in again, ready to be shot again tomorrow, or whenever they go to work again. which will be tomorrow. And the good part about it is all the bycatch is gone. There's not a dead, dying, undersized fish anywhere. All the turtles and stingrays and sharks have all swum away. You can't even see where we've been. Time to sit down and have a bit of a relax and a cup of coffee on the way home. The job's not complete yet. The fish have to be unloaded and taken to market. Here we are back at the mooring, back to the Victoria Point boat ramp. Here's the truck arriving here now. The fish will be scooped straight into lug baskets here, straight out of the slurry. Here they are. They're up to the wholesalers where they're selling the fish. You can see it's beginning to go dark. These guys left the ramp this morning just after daylight, so it's a pretty long day. Nearly every day is in excess of 12-hour day. By the time they get home and have a shower and a feed, they'll be pretty much ready for bed. And they will go and do it again tomorrow.
That's our day's work. We'll go back out tomorrow and do the whole thing again. We'll be back here tomorrow night and unload some nice fresh product. Beautiful fresh product.
There you go. The boys are pretty proud of what they do. They strive for an excellent product which they produce, and to produce it in the most sustainable possible way.